What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mel here for another classic review. Today I'm going to talk about my thoughts on the holiday special, Billy and Mandy Save Christmas. But before we begin, did you subscribe? Did you hit the bell? If so, have you been nice? Good. Have you been naughty? Well, you're fucked. You better be hiding because Santa is a vampire. He's going to turn you one as well. So yeah, Billy and Mandy Save Christmas aired on Cartoon Network back in December 2nd of 2005, and this is a good special. I think this is like during the time because, like, remember back in season 3 or season 2, came out Billy Mandy's Jacko Halloween, I think? I forgot the name again, shit. I think it's Jacked Up or Jacko. I don't know, I gotta check. But yeah, this is what I like. You got Christmas and vampires. So yeah, we get an opening title where we hear Grimm talk about, well, so like, you know, like the Twice Before Christmas. Shit. Sorry about that. I was saying, we have Grimm telling the story, the same format as the Twice the Night Before Christmas. It says here, and I quote, "'Twas the night before Christmas. Santa had not yet departed. His sleigh was tricked out, and his reindeers had farted, which made the elves die. His belly was swollen, his beard was bone white. The elves were wound up on sugar delight." Holy shit, those elves are hyped on white snow, aren't they? "He checked his list to see who been good, and they'll get the reward as good children should. But there are some who aren't jolly, and some who aren't nice, and Santa makes sure they pay the price." Ho ho! That's it. You see, like, all the kids, even some, like, you're gonna the bully, that dark alley. You see Santa show off the bling, says, "Ho ho ho, motherfucker." You know Santa ain't playing. He's old school, bro. "'Twas a dark night before Christmas, as children lay sleeping. 'Twas the perfect time for some holiday reaping." Which we see Santa gaze on his red suit, unaware a pair of green sharp hands will make him his latest victim of despair. Which we got to the title card, Billy Save Christmas, which is in black letter, which is actually pretty cool. And we see like the snowflakes of each of the characters. We have Mandy, we have Billy, we have Grimm. And the last one is the mouth of the vampire, which turns white to red, and yeah, tries to bite you. We cut off to the mall, into the mall, which of course, shit. It's full because, well, technically Billy thought they were in a line, but Billy thought, "It's just a line to the bathroom." But nope, another kid says, "No, this is a line to meet Santa." Santa! Santa! Of course, he keeps repeating the same shit over, and guess who's playing Santa? General Scar. And of course, he sees Billy, he's like, "Oh, fuck." As you know, General Scar... Sorry. As you know, General Scar is not a huge fan of Billy. Hell no. We've seen to that. When he became his neighbor, Billy was the worst neighbor. Of course, Billy sits on his lap. Of course, asks him, "What do you want for Christmas, little boy?" Which, of course, Billy says, I don't know what he said, but it made Scar a bit more pissed off until he said, "Is that it?" Which, of course, well, yeah. So he beats up Billy, which everybody is freaked out because seeing Santa beating up a kid. But, of course, he was trying to stop it until he realized the beer for all of it. And that's when everybody starts to realize he's not Santa. And one was says, "This mall's a lie. Let's destroy it." Really? They start destroying everything from the mall, and a couple of guys holding Scar down, beating the shit out of him. One guy said, "Merry Fistmas." What the hell does Scar do? He's just doing his job. But of course, Billy, Mandy, Grimm lead them all, and we see he's on fire. Of course, Grimm had an idea by taking them to the North Pole to see the real Santa, which of course they do. When they arrive, holy fuck, it looks like a ghost town. Literally. Which of course, Mandy tried to debunk this because, remember, it's Mandy. She does not believe in Santa. Really? Your friend's the Grim Reaper. Shouldn't he not be real too? Of course, they find a sleigh running. Well, of course, she points out it could be an Eskimo. Literally. So they arrive at the home, which, fuck, it looks like it's been ransacked. I tell you what. As they open the door, slowly, but of course, Billy being stupid, he puts his tongue on the sleigh, which of course sticks. As they went inside, Billy managed to smash a hole in the wall, for being stupid until Grimm snaps at him, "Billy, you damn boy." Which of course, the light turns on, and guess who's... It pops up, and guess who it is? Mrs. Claus, because she recognized Grimm's voice and tells him, "It's okay, Elves. It's only death." Damn, Mrs. C. You knew Grimm? How long you knew Grimm? Well, face it. Dude, I'm guessing Grimm gave him immortality because, face it, what do you expect? Of course, and Mrs. Claus has a grip because when she hugs Grimm, she crushes his bones when she cries. Which, of course, when Grimm asks what happened, which, of course, she starts crying and hugs Grimm by crushing him, which, of course, Mandy starts to see. Now starts to believe that she's Mrs. Claus, which, of course, Billy says, "I was right." Of course, Billy does his "I was right" dance, which, of course, like, okay, I just want to see Billy do that little dance. Soon, Mrs. Claus explains what actually happened. What actually happened before the accident, which, of course, she takes him down to, looks like, holy shit, this looks like a damn dungeon. They have a dungeon down there. And candy cane hooks. Holy fuck. That's what she said, that these where they keep the default toys, like the Unjolly Jack in the Box, the creepy doll with the wandering eye, the eyes still wandering at you. Literally, the damn eyes of the doll just popped out and start following you everywhere. There was another one. It's like a bear trap. And of course, it's what we end up seeing. A gingerbread coffin. That's one with the 12 Pixel, can you help me here? Oh yeah, they pushed the lid off that coffin. What you hear him breathing? It's like, and Billy keeps saying, "Santa." Blah 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 blah. When Grimm freaks out and Billy says, "Ay, Chihuahua, I will suck out your soul." Fun fact: Santa Claus here is voiced by the late great Gilbert Gottfried, Iago from Aladdin. I did not know that until I read that high-pitched voice. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Gilbert got me playing a vampire Santa. Which, of course, Mr. Claus says that he was turned into a vampire. Which, of course, Santa turns out because, well, he's old. Of course, they go back upstairs. Mrs. Claus explains what actually happened. That's when she came back cutting the firewood. Okay, this is a slap from Breaking Bad because she returns, she sees him about to suck the blood off of his elf who wants to become a dentist. Santa's trying to kill Hermes by drinking his blood. Damn. Of course, that's when Mandy cuts down the tree, which of course, guess what she makes? Wooden stakes, which of course, she says, Mrs. Claus freaked out because, well, she thought she'd use that on her husband. But no, because Mandy wants to use it on the vampire who did this to him. Which, of course, the head vampire. Which, of course, Mrs. Claus described the way. Which, Okay, it's kind of funny because I forgot the way. One's the cave of mysterious smells, the meadow of ponies. I don't know what the other was, but it leads to the ice fortress of the head vampire, which of course Billy stayed behind to help Mrs. Claus, which of course he becomes the man of the house. So we get little gags of Billy dressed as a help, helping Mrs. Claus around with the factory, the toys, even changing Rudolph's nose if his light goes out, like with a light bulb. Which of course Billy's still upset because it ain't Christmas because Santa's a vampire. Which Mrs. Claus tells him about the true meaning of Christmas, which of course he feels better. Meanwhile, Graham and Mandy manage to arrive at the home of the head vampire, which we meet him. Damn, this has to be the most flamboyant vampire ever. He looks like a parody of the one from the... You know which vampire I'm talking about. The one with the weird hairdo. Which, of course, he's a clean freak. I'm not joking. When Mandy and Grim arrived, Mandy just broke the window and the vandals turned around while he was brushing his teeth. And Grim chastised her for making a mess. Which, when Grim looks up, he sees the vampire and says, "What have you done? Don't you know that expensive window and this is silk? It will take weeks to get that dirt off the bed." Which, of course, Mandy and Grim are surprised. Which, they ask him, "Are you the head vampire?" Which, of course, he explains his name, which, oh boy, it's a long-ass name. And he says, "Yes, I'm the head vampire." And Mandy says, "Good." Throws a stick around the heart, and he turns the door like, they're like, "Oh dear." Dust. After that, when they're about to leave, whoopsie, he turns back reverts from the flames, and he says, more like, "What have you done?" And Grim said, "She did it." Meow. Those sound effects, we see Mandy cross when Grim said she did it, and you hear the cow sound, moo. Which, of course, talking about the ashes on the carpet. Of course, this is when sorry. Talking about what happened. Which, of course, the vampire agrees to help with the problem. Which, of course, we have this little gag where where the head vampire says, "I always wanted to save Christmas since I was a little boy." We get a flashback of him in school saying, "I always wanted to save Christmas." And the same thing with Grim. This time he wants to save Christmas with a vampire until he gets hit with a snowball. And this is the running gag of him. Somebody keeps throwing snowballs like Grim. And you find out who it is. So, of course, they walk towards back to North Pole with stupid, silly dance, which, of course, they turn into a block of ice. And Mandy had to push their stupid butts all the way there. As they arrive, which is kind of weird. Of course, Billy's still humming around the house. Mandy, Grim, and the vampire arrive. Which, of course, Mrs. Claus asks Miss Grim if she can hold his scythe. Which he did, which, somebody sounds sus here. When they arrive, that's when they know something. Mrs. Claus locks the door to the where Santa's kept, right behind them. When they turn around, the Santa Claus ain't in his coffin. He was chained to the coffin. He's not there anymore. That's when Santa is loose. Which, of course, Mrs. Claus tells Billy that they have been naughty, and this is what naughty people deserve. Like, what the hell? What's going on here? Of course, Ben didn't understand, but he kept what he's doing. Soon as the three were back into a wall, that's when the head vampire realized that Mrs. Claus is the actual head vampire. But Grimm mentions that Santa's still in there. He needs to show the Christmas spirit, which of course Mandy has to do a little sing and dance number. Which of course Grimm and the vampire helped her out. Which of course the Santa remembers like, what's going on here? And Manny said, don't you know what I want for Christmas, Santa? What do you want for Christmas, little girl? Which we see Santa smiling, which is actually nice, but nope, Mandy just had to ruin it. She's a little bitch. She just jumps on him with a stake and say, okay, let's get the fuck out of here. Which of course Grimm summons his scythe and they escape. Which they confront Mrs. Claus until we see Mrs. Claus transform into a vampire. She blames the other vampire, which of course he says too messy. Of course, he runs off, hiding in the Christmas tree for the whole time. Soon, Mrs. Claus explains that we got a flashback of how her and Santa met, how everything began with the North Pole. The gift of giving until the years. The only thing Santa does is check his list, and Mrs. Claus does everything. I mean, literally, clean the floors, move the presents, chop the wood, everything. The only thing Santa does is check the list, and she all does the work of lift all her fingers, all 364 days a year. Not even one break. Of course, Mandy points out that she wants revenge. She turned Santa into a vampire, so he can turn everybody into a vampire. In reality, she just wants a break. But fortunately, being Mandy, she gave her a good idea. Which, of course, she's not the only vampire. She turned every elf there into a vampire, which both of them starts to run. We get a little gag with Billy, exploring the whole place. As of course, Billy enters his office, which Bill being stupid, he actually busted the computer by scratching the computer, which caused it to explode. That's where Billy finds in case somebody turned to a vampire, break glass. He got the title like, ding, it breaks, which shows a hologram of Santa Claus, teaching him how to create an antidote of turn him back into human, which he does. A cooking session with hologram Santa. Meanwhile, we get Grimm and Mandy getting chased all through the toy factory by the vampires. Actually, Grimm's the one who suffered more because the elf vampires start to bite Grimm until Mandy saves them by, I think, throws a couple of toys at them. Soon, that's when, unfortunately, Mandy's the one who is going to fight Mrs. Claus while Grimm takes care of the vampire bats, aka they attack him. Literally, they were knocked out until Grimm falls on them and they attack him. Damn, he cannot get a break. Soon, Mandy approaches Mrs. Claus, which she turns into a monster bat and calls her ugly, which, of course. Soon, during the little fight, we see Billy carrying a bowl of something, which of course, hello ladies, which of course they didn't notice him, and they continue fighting. Billy arrives at where Santa is, which of course Santa pops out and say, well, he knows, what is that? Cookies! And Billy say, and milk! What turns out is the antidote, which of course turns Santa back to his jolly self. Soon, during the little fight, that's when, I forgot, he called her by her first name. I don't know what her first name was. Of course, he explains the whole thing, which of course, she forgets him and turns back to her old self. And here's the fucked up part. This wasn't the first time she turned him into a vampire. I think this is the 7th time, which means holy shit. Of course, they get a little homage, which of course, the head vampire comes out of the tree, which of course he sees a mess, so he takes care of the mess as the janitor. He's no complaining. Meanwhile, Santa explains Mandy the true meaning of Christmas. Of course, why not? Remember, it's Mandy. Of course, Mrs. Claus says this is the best Christmas ever until she gets hit by a snowball and she says, "Who keeps doing that?" And guess what it is? Spurg, the bully. And guess what happens to him? He gets attacked by vampire elves, which Bill says, "This is the best Christmas ever." Which everybody holds hands and hums. And we zoom out, we see Spurgeon still get his ass attacked by the elves. And that's actually pretty funny. We get a zoom out of that beautiful snow, the detail. And we see the sign right there. And cuts right there. We see the end credits. We see, I think it's like Christmas Eve. We see Billy, Mandy, and Grim going downstairs, open the presents. Grim gets a new scythe. And guess what Mandy gets? She gets coal. Are you fucking kidding? After all that, and saving, well, technically Billy trying to save Santa, but she's the one who tried to save everybody. She gets coal, which of course, Grim says something until she throws the coal at Grim, like, ow! We get a glimpse of Santa right into the night, and guess who's the reindeer? One of the Rudolph. Billy. And that, my friends, was Billy and Mandy Save Christmas. And this is a classic I love because, come on. Since when do you see Gilbert Gottfried turn into a vampire Santa? But yeah, this is a good Christmas special. I wish they keep bringing this back because, hey, this is one way to enjoy a good holiday special. I remember seeing this when I was in the 3rd grade. It was during the night. It was during the holiday blocks. You had other Christmas specials like Codename Kids Next Door with the Christmas version of the X-Men. Foster's Home with Magic Friends where I believe Santa was real. And then Eddie's Christmas special, which, of course, that was because Eddie trying to find an adopted family because he's just being a total dick. Because what he got for Christmas is actually clothes, which of course Brooks to trust his parents because he actually peeked. That's how Eddie is. There are other specials, like, well, there are a couple of old ones, like the Rankin Bass, which they usually air. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the cartoon one. I don't know what other, but there are actually a lot during those days. Oh yeah, including that Frosty the Snowman sequel. You know which one, the newer one, which it doesn't make sense, but yeah, there are others, but yeah, those are my thoughts on Billy and Mandy Save Christmas. Have you seen this special when it came out back in 2005? Did you like it? Did you like it when Gilbert Gottfried played Vampire Santa? Hey, why not? It's actually pretty funny. When he says, "I'm gonna swallow your soul." Holy shit. Are you sure this is a Christmas special or this is a holiday special for the Evil Dead? When you hear him say, "Swallow your soul." Swallow your soul! But yeah. Let me know what you think of this holiday special. Did you like it? What was your first scene? Leave a comment down below and tell me what you like. And if you're new to the channel, remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and you better hit that subscribe button and the like button. If you don't, Gilbert Gottfried Vampire Santa is going to turn your ass into a vampire. And there's no cookie antidote for you. But until then, have a great day, everybody. Peace.